Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I shall add something to the agenda today because we reached 100,000 subscribers on MegaloMedia. And that's pretty cool, to be honest. Even though this is just one of the channels we operate, it's really cool to, to break this 100,000 line. And I'm sure that many of you are thinking 100,000, that's a lot. Those are a lot of subscribers. It seems unreachable. But if you would dedicate some time to building your YouTube channel, as we teach in everything we do at Giga University, I'm pretty sure you could hit that mark too in no time. It basically comes down to finding that one niche, and that one niche usually is what you enjoy doing. People are complaining all the time, thinking about, oh, what kind of YouTube channel should I start, and is this going to work or that going to work? Listen, it's super easy. You look at what's out there, you take what's working, you adapt it so that you like doing it for the next couple of months and years, and you execute ruthlessly. Most of you guys fail because I have worked with so many of you, and some of you, after 3 uploads, and these uploads, of course nobody's going to give a fuck about those uploads, right? These uploads get 10 views, 20 views, 50 views. You give up. That doesn't make any sense. If you want to start a YouTube channel, go hard for 8, 10 videos. And if after 10 videos, your average views are 5 to 10 views, then you might want to start thinking about, am I actually doing anything wrong here, right? But most of you don't even get there because you don't have the stamina. And stamina is important in life. So, someone's asking if I've seen their application. I don't know who you are, so I have no idea if I've seen your application. Typically, our HR is handling all the applications. So if you're not sure we have seen it, then just send an email and we'll get back to you ASAP. So having talked about this, let me jump into the first topic. First, let me know who is here, who has been here for the past 2 times. We missed one live, unfortunately. I was having a little celebration in a little villa in Warsaw. It was wild, but we didn't manage to do a live stream there, and I think it would have been probably very inappropriate to do a live stream over there. So let me know who is here. Where are you from? It's nice to meet you. And then let's get started with the first topic of sexual spirituality business models. It's a very special one. So, where are you from? Thank you. Spain, absolutely proper. Barcelona is one of my favorite cities. Congrats, man. I'm about to be at 100, only 99 left. 100,000 or literally 100? Serbia, Cuba, UK. London is the place to be, one of the places to be in Europe, I guess. India. I worked in New Delhi for some time. It was messy, but it was a very good time. You could have a Cuban scriptwriter. That would be quite special. Oklahoma. Nice to meet you. So the first thing I want to talk about, and please feel free to already drop some questions in the chat. I'll try to monitor it during my little monologue. But the first thing I want to talk about is a new type of business model that fits our degenerate society so well. It's incredible. And I stumbled upon that because there's this one guy. He is called Julian Zietlow, and if there's any Germans in the live stream, you will laugh now because the guy is an absolute joke. So basically what happened, you have this guy, Julian Zietlow. From the outside, it looks like the perfect family husband. He has a great business, so selling protein shakes and stuff like that. He has a beautiful wife, children, and so on. From the outside, it looks perfect, immaculate. Everybody was like, such a great life, such a loving husband. Then the guy goes on a trip. I think he went to Bali or something like that, Thailand. I have no idea. He went on a trip. He gets to know this Russian girl that looks like a hooker. They start having wild sex. They start taking all kinds of ayahuasca. And whole Germany is basically laughing about this. It's very sad for his wife. It's probably also very sad for him. He looks absolutely lost, like he has lost all control over his life. And the guy is an absolute joke. You know, I don't respect him at all. I think he had a proper business. He could have done much more out of that business. He was making a couple of millions, but you know, if he was intelligent, he would have scaled it up, sold it to a private equity fund, made hundreds of millions. The guy is a freaking joke. So now, you see the guy posting a lot about, and it's not loading, and that is for some reason because I think Instagram suspended his account, half suspended his account. He was posting pictures of his girlfriend's titties from time to time, so I guess Instagram didn't like that so much. And the guy now is all into spirituality. You know, all of that ayahuasca bullshit, taking all kinds of substances, meditating, and so on. Another guy that does a very similar thing together with him is this guy, Kinam Trung. Absolute joke himself too. I think he wanted to do I mean, judging from the pictures, the guy's like 5'7", 8", I don't know. Maybe even shorter than that. The guy wanted to become an NBA player. I think after attempting that for a couple of months, he realized that that is a freaking stupid idea. Didn't end up pursuing that, rightfully so. And now he's basically teaching people spirituality. And this is where it gets interesting, okay? So you see him here sitting with this guy, which is, you know, the guy who lost complete control over his life, banged his hooker girlfriend on his trips, and was broadcasting his events to whole Instagram, whole Germany. And they are doing some kind of ceremonies here, you know, putting stuff into their noses, and they're, you know, freeing themselves from anarchy and chaos, and that is a trend. So I talked to one guy who I trust a lot when it comes to making money online, especially when it comes to social media. And he says more and more of people in his outer circle, because he doesn't want to have these people in his inner circle. More and more of these people are starting these spiritual journey social media presences. And I guess this guy is a great example for that. You know, you see a lot of these posts here, very spiritual, very much healing, very much ceremony, great. And then you look at what he's advertising, because that's the only thing we care about. When we analyze social media profiles, the only thing we care about is what the fuck are people selling, right? Because that reveals their entire agenda. That's why what this guy did, Alex Hormozy, was extremely intelligent. He used to have, I don't want to sell you anything, or I'm not selling you anything in his YouTube bio, I guess, for the past year or so. And he was indeed not selling anything. And now he started selling like crazy, right? He's selling books and so on. And so if you look at what he's selling, it's in German, unfortunately. Those are sacred ceremonies. Next one is in Amsterdam, 12th of August, 16th of August, 19th of August. And you can come to these ceremonies, and there's going to be decision, preparation, dedication, integration, whatever the fuck that means, right? But you'll have beautiful moments like this one. You'll be hugged. You will sit with this grandmaster, and you will learn everything from meditation to souls, quantum physics, and you'll leave this event healed. Obviously, this is to me, this is an absolute piece of bullshit. If you look at society, I think this reflects what is wrong with our degenerate society so well. Everybody's walking around. A lot of people out there are very unhappy with their lives. You know, their life is an absolute mess. They have never taken responsibility for their lives. They don't have any money. They don't have a hot girlfriend. They don't have good friendships. They don't have a business. They don't have anything. So they try to escape, and in comes a perfect solution, a sacred ceremony, you know, where you get healed from all these bad feelings of being an absolute loser and an absolute beta male through a simple ceremony. Why not buy that for a couple of $1,000? This business model works extremely well if you don't have any morals, if you don't want to create actual value in this world, but you want to cater to a crowd of people that are absolutely lost in their journeys, that probably need a proper kick in their butt, a proper vision for their lives, a proper master plan on how to tackle their freaking lost lives. You want to cater to these folks, do some nice ceremonies with them, meditation and so on. That is exactly the business model you want to pursue in that case. And you see, he is registered in Dubai. Dubai Silicon Oasis, Dubai Digital Park, which is where you get very nice tax credits. So the guy is not only an absolute ayahuasca master, but he also seems to understand a little bit about how to save taxes, how to do business. Absolutely saluted. If you want to go that same path, you're very welcome. I just showed you what is going on. This is just one case study that we went through, right? But there is a ton of healing, ayahuasca, drugs, spirituality influencers that are doing exactly the same thing. And the nice thing about that is you have great content. You know, you have content where, you know, you just doing stuff that looks extremely strange. And stuff that looks extremely strange is stuff that gets clicked usually on YouTube, TikTok, and so on. Because we want to see degenerate stuff, right? And then among most of the people watching that degenerate stuff, there will be 10% of people who are degenerate enough to actually buy the courses you are offering and buy the events that you are offering, where you convey your degenerate spirituality to them. All right, so that is an interesting business model, and I wanted to point you guys to that. Now, If you have questions, drop them in the chat and let's talk a little bit about your questions. So where you can buy ayahuasca, I have no idea. I'm not opposed ayahuasca, right? I think this can be something that if you do it once or twice, whatever. I know a shocking amount of entrepreneurs, founders, businessmen who have reached quite some status in their life that are, that have attended ayahuasca ceremonies. And funny story, one of the most conservative Germans that I know, absolute fucking conservative, boring guy, built a business, nice business, making money with ACs and so on. Fucking boring business. Boring guy, boring business, very conservative. I love him. Great guy. He came to me another day and said, Kevin, I have tried this one special tea. Now, what kind of tea? And he said basically it's a light version of ayahuasca, some kind of tea that you brew. Then you take some kind of beta blockers. You drink the tea, you lie down, and you will have a trip, a experience that is very similar to what you experience when you take ayahuasca, just it's shorter. So it's like 30 to 60 minutes. And you don't necessarily need a guide or whoever with you. And he said, Kevin, I would count this event next to getting married to my wife, having our first children, my mother passing away, and so on. That's how big the revelation was that I experienced. Interesting. For this kind of super conservative, boring guy to say something like that, I was quite impressed. I haven't done it. Maybe in the future. I guess where it gets dangerous if you do that very often. If you base your entire personality upon that, that's when I would log out. How can I start a creative agency and earn money from it? That is exactly what we'll talk about in a couple of minutes, because the agency business models are interesting if we're talking about social, like agencies around social media content creation. I don't see any point in creating marketing agencies anymore. Something guys like Iman Gadzi are advertising, that doesn't make any freaking sense, man. This ship has sailed 5 to 10 years ago, and that's exactly when this guy made his money. But you guys are not going to make any money with that anymore. That's for sure, 100%. Someone here prefers smoking DMT. Opinion on real estate. I decided a couple of years ago that real estate is not going to be my home turf, so I'm not going to comment any half-assed knowledge to you. I think real estate is something to get into once your net worth, like for everyone, once your net worth passes a certain threshold, which probably for me is around 40, 50 million. Before that, either go all in on real estate, so do that all the time, become one of the best, or focus on whatever else you're doing to get your first couple of millions and go all in on that, and don't bother buying 5 single apartments here and there, and then you have the mess of managing that. Things go wrong. You make a bit of yield, but the yield you would get if you would invest in your own business probably is 10 times as high. What's the process to work with you, Kevin? I saw once your application. We have application forms out everywhere. So on Upwork, on Behance, on other platforms, and also on this YouTube channel. If you go to the community tab, you will see that we're posting in regular intervals. We're posting that we are hiring. So you can just go there and click the link, and then you can apply. It's very straightforward. And we are growing like crazy, so we need all kinds of people, but we only need them if they are good. We get a lot of applications every day, and 90% of the applications are shit. Video editors nowadays are, you can find a lot of video editors through various platforms. A lot of them are not skilled. So if anyone out there, if you're young, you want to make money, just sit down, learn video editing properly. That takes you 2 months, I would say. Okay, if you dedicate every day to it. Watch some courses, take on some free projects, get feedback from the client, listen to the feedback, implement it, and then become a great video editor. You'll be able to charge $500, $1,000, $1,500 for videos. And if you do 4 or 5 of those per month, you already have a nice revenue stream for someone who's young, right? And then if you want to take it to the next level, build an agency. Hire some other video editors. At this point, you know what a good video editor looks like. Hire some of these people, get more projects, become a millionaire, and be happy. What type of business to start? Someone asks. This is highly dependent on what your skill set looks like. That is why. People are always afraid to talk about their startup ideas. Like me, as someone who has been angel investing for a lot of years now, I often meet people and they say, I have this great idea, and I'm like, okay, interesting, let me hear it. And they're like, I don't, I'm not talking about it publicly. I'm afraid someone will copy it. I'm like, man, you haven't understand anything. If you can talk about your idea and it's so easily copyable, that someone can just go ahead, copy it, and make money with it. First of all, this doesn't exist. Like, there's nothing where, you just do something for a couple of minutes a day and then you make money. Like, all things are hard. If you want to earn money, it's hard and it takes time. Secondly, you would probably want to focus on something that is where you have an USP, where you are one of the few people out there that can actually pull this off. Because trust me, at some point, when you're public with whatever you're building, when you're getting the first revenues in, people will notice. And if this thing that you're building is not tailored to your own capabilities, someone else is going to copy you. Right? At some point, people will notice, and at some point, people will be able to start copying. So better build something where you have a USP, where you feel like, oh, I'm actually a little bit better at this than most other people. Focus on that, build that, and make millions. So if you have enjoyed it so far, this live stream is going to be extremely short. But if you have enjoyed it so far, drop some emotions in the chat. And if you want, drop some more comments, and then we can go on. Hello, ladies and gents. So now, what we want to talk about next: earning millions with video editing agencies. And this is a shameless plug for what we're doing at Giga University. But you're very lucky, because I'll show you a part of like one of the courses that we're teaching there about earning millions with video editing agencies, how to build one, how to overcome roadblocks, and how to scale it, because you want to take yourself out of the equation at some point. If you want to make money, you can do basically anything. Making money is very easy. If you want to make lots of money, at some point you need to build processes that are scalable. And that could be done through tech, or that could be done through human capital. And in this case, it's done through both. So, jumping from these two mavericks to video editing agencies. And by the way, I appreciate all the hearts and likes and emojis. They make my life sustainably better. There's a bit of a stream schedule. Usually around 8 p.m. on Sunday. That's what I'm trying to do now, because I want to reconnect with the community. I enjoy talking into this camera. But it's most fun if you guys, text something in the chat, and that's what I like, and that's also how I learn, what's important to you guys. All right, so let's talk about the video editing business. Anyone out there who's doing anything with video editing? Do we have someone in the chat? Let me know. So nobody is doing anything with editing. That is very surprising, but doesn't hurt. So you guys are going to learn something very new, and this is something anyone can start. You don't need to be a great editor. You just need to be a good businessman. And if you're that, you can start a video editing business basically today. Most of you are not going to do that, I know, because most of you, just statistically, right, are lazy. But the few of you that will start it, you can make a lot of money with this, and I suggest you do it. So let's get right into it. The big thing basically is that right now we have a big change, and that's editing is fundamentally, content creation is fundamentally being changed by a lot of AI. All right, so there's a lot of new AI tools out there, and they make content creation so much easier. So basically, if you look at it from a macro perspective, now a lot of more content is being thrown out there. Now, if you're a simp, if you're a loser, what you would probably say is, okay, there's more and more competition, and how, like, it doesn't make sense to compete in this market. If you have the right mindset, you would say, it's great. Actually, more people are, getting the opportunity to get into this market. More interest, more eyeballs are on this market of social media content creation. So if I can manage to be a little bit better than all these people that are just using AI tools, just typing in prompts, getting these scripts out, posting them on YouTube, like this would be a good YouTube video. If I can be just a little bit better, then I'm the king of a massive market. And that's the mindset we want to adapt also in this case. There's a lot of video editing out there, a lot of AI technology, but in the end, you always still need some human touch to that. And you can combine AI tools intelligently to build content that is not just good, like good content. Everybody can make good content, but it's excellent. Okay. So let me skip these things because that's a bit boring. What is AI technology? And also the earnings potential is something we're going to skip for now. So long story short, there's a lot of AI tools for video editing. There's AI tools for video editing software. There are AI tools for color grading, which is if you want to create great documentaries, this is a very important part of that. Audio mixing, visual effects. There's stuff like Midjourney, of course, most of you have heard about that, right? There's Runway, which basically, based on prompts, can create entire videos for you. So it's a bit like Midjourney for videos. And that, as I said, opens up a lot of new possibility. And if you're asking, like Dushan basically is asking, I'm planning to learn Premiere and maybe After Effects. Yeah, that connects to the next steps, which is how do you get started, right? How do you build a video editing agency that makes you millions? And one of the steps is to learn editing yourself, and I'll let you know why that's faster than you think and why that might not even be necessary, but it's one of the things you can do. Yeah. So there's two options if you want to now start building a video editing agency. First one is you go slow and you will have lower risk. The second one is you go fast and you will naturally have higher risk with this one. The second one is more interesting in my opinion. The first one, let's talk about this one. Slow and low risk. So basically you edit. This method starts with you developing your video editing skills. So, as I said earlier, I don't think it takes years to learn video editing. I am also able to edit videos, and I did that in the past simply because I liked the experience of it and I wanted to be able to communicate with editors in an authentic way so that I could give them feedback as same as one video editor would give feedback to another video editor, not from one manager to a video editor. So I didn't like that disconnect. How would I approach learning video editing? I would first look at a couple of courses. Those are all available for free on YouTube. Just watch them. It will take you a couple of hours. Maybe you'll spend one day watching courses, taking notes, and then, very simple, start editing. Think about what content you like, what content you consume, and first start editing content like that. You can just randomly ask, for example, ChatGPT to write you a nice script and try to edit that script. Now, the next level, of course, is to start networking. So you'll reach out, you'll open up YouTube, you'll reach out to some of your favorite channels, maybe also some of the smaller channels, and you'll offer, hey, I will do a free test edit for you, no cost. If you like it, you can hire me. Then you do some editing. Probably your first couple of edits will all be extremely shit. Let's admit that, right? Your first couple of edits are going to be horrible. You will gain some feedback, so always ask for feedback from these people. And then you will improve, implement that feedback, and hopefully become a better and better editor. So here's a couple of tutorials that we're suggesting. Let's skip over that. Collaborating with other professionals is also a very nice way to learn editing better and better. And using tools like Trello or Asana. As a video editor, to be honest, it's very tough sometimes to organize your time, because sometimes edits take much longer than you think. And then you tell your client, hey, I'm going to be done with this video on Friday, but really it needs 3 more days. And you realize that on Thursday night, and then the client is pissed and so on. So it's important to at least try to mitigate that risk with great software. Now, if you go that route, at some point you will have acquired great knowledge on how to edit videos, right? And at this point, you can start hiring other video editors. And now let me quickly talk about the second method, fast and higher risk, which is, I think, the preferred way to build a big video editing agency. For you to understand what's the contrast to the slow and low risk version. So this is called the arbitrage agency business. And this is something I've recommended to a lot of mentees. Some of them have started adapting that. Some of them have massive success with that. And you're getting it here from me for free. So in theory, no capital is needed. In theory. You can differentiate yourself with proper material that creates trust. A lot of these video editing agencies are based in developing countries. And if I get emails or messages from these people, to be honest, often the grammar is very sloppy. There's mistakes. You see that there's not a zero defect mentality, which we try to always have in strategy consulting, for example. If you just have clean sales material, you're already better than 80% of the video editing agencies out there. You can automate outreach via personal assistants on Fiverr. And the whole model is really something that mostly requires you to be a great manager. And now let me stay on that slide actually and talk about how I would go about this step by step. So if you have chosen to go the slow way, so basically you learn video editing, the only difference now is that you have a bit lower risk because you can already start earning money, right? You know how to edit, so you can go to clients, you can tell them, hey, this is my portfolio, please hire me. Then they hire you, nice, you get $500 per video, you do a couple of edits, you have money coming in, right? And then at some point you can hire additional editors once your revenue crosses a certain threshold. And at this point you can hire new editors. And here comes the thing, you know exactly what a good editor is, because trust me, it's not easy to see what is a good editor and what is a great editor. It's a big difference that is not visible if you look at editors' portfolios. Also not if you look at what are the clients they have worked for, because editors can always, I had so many editors lie to me and say they have edited for some of the biggest YouTube channel competitors that we have on the MegaloMedia account, for example. And then I checked with these channels and they are like, I have no idea who this person is. Obviously they are lying. So that's if you go the slow and low risk path. If you go the fast and higher risk path, basically from day zero you will hire people. So that means obviously you need to invest some money, right? And what you will essentially do is you will create arbitrage, not on the side of better content or better quality, but on the sales side. So you hire a video editor, someone who's, let's say, sitting in the Philippines. I have had very good experience with Philippine video editors. And you tell this person, you ask them, what is your price? How much do you charge for an edit? And you remember that price, and then you go to your client, you tell them price that is twice as high, you start the project, you cash in, right? Why are you able to sell to these people and not the Philippine person directly? Because you learned how to create proper email communication, how to create a proper proposal, a nice website that looks extremely professional, and you can push the sales side a bit more, right? An editor is mostly going to be editing, and that takes most of their time. That means they don't have as much time to do reach out. For you, you can either do the reach out yourself, so you can reach out to all the freaking YouTube channels on YouTube via their emails, or you can get a great personal assistant from websites like Fiverr, can have them reach out to video editors. So this is something that, creates a nice arbitrage opportunity. Even more so as then you start to get your first clients. Hopefully you can retain these clients, right? So you edit for them regularly, and then you can add on more editors in the future. Is this more risky? Of course, because you will need to invest a little bit upfront, right? You will need to pay this video editor something. But if you do it cleverly, you already have your client, right? They are promising you some kind of payment, and if that payment goes through, half goes to the editor and the other half goes to you. This is something that is extremely easy to pull off. It is something that definitely does work. If you do the filtering, if you find great video editors, which is something that we are spending at Deus Media Group, we are spending a lot of time for that, because it's really tedious to find great video editors. So you do the work for the client, then you offer the client the video editor's services at a higher cost. You pocket the arbitrage. Great business model. And now we have some case studies and so on, but let's not talk about those. Let's talk about some more Q&A. For finish, drop your questions in the chat. Let me also know what you think about this business model. If it's something you would like to try, or something that seems too difficult for you or too specific, would be interesting to know what you think about it. And we'll do another Giga University giveaway in the end, just spontaneously. Yeah, definitely. This is This is something, this is something where you can earn, let's say, I think it's very easy to get to $10,000 per month with this within a few months, really. And then I guess it's easy to scale this to 70, 80, maybe $100,000 per month. And then I think a lot of complexities start kicking in. You will need to increase prices a lot, which means you will also need to get better video editors, which is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. You will need to, temporarily, you will have lower margins. So if you want to build like $1 billion business, this is not it, right? But if you want to make tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, this is a perfectly suitable business model for you. Best free video editing app, I have no idea, but all our editors, most of our editors are using Adobe Premiere. That's like the industry standard. I know some people who are using iMovie, so maybe that's an option. I have different work right now, but it is interesting to listen to you. For us, when we hire video editors, it's all about their performance, right? If they can edit a nice test video, which we also pay for if they want, and if they listen to feedback, which is always the second step, right? First, you want to see what's the product they give you, and then you want to see how do they react to feedback, because some video editors, even if you give them feedback, the product doesn't get better. So then that's the limit of their capabilities, right? You can't expect more. Then this is not a editor you want to work with. But if they are able to implement that feedback, take the product to the next level, great, good sign. More questions. How to get deep pocket clients. I think the main acquisition channel you should use is really YouTube, because you see that, you see what what production quality channels are putting out there. So if you see great production quality and you're able to match that, maybe at the beginning at a lower price, then you're in, right? I wouldn't go for most of the faceless channels with shitty quality, because that's where they just want to squeeze margins. They want to make money on AdSense. They want to pay the video editors as little as possible so that they can pocket the money, and then this channel will work for 6 months or so, and then after that it's basically it's going to shit because the production quality is not good enough. So I would go for channels where you see that, okay, they want to play the long-term game. They're looking for the best quality. They have been around for some time, and they will be around for a long time. Thank you for 100K. I think, like, would I target startups? I'm not sure, because startups, first of all, they don't have deep pockets. Secondly, startups will always be one-time customers. So they will need one promotional video, or one video for their landing page or whatever. And then probably you can't turn these into regular customers. What you want to do though is to have as many regular customers as possible, because then it frees up your time and you need to do less sales. Um, so startups, sure, at the beginning, if you don't get any customers, like obviously you want to reach out to anyone, um, but only if you're very desperate. When did you first time had the idea for MegaloMedia? I think it was like a year ago when we started uploading these documentaries. And the first couple of documentaries I edited myself, even though I was heavily into venture capital, into angel investing, um, and I was still running the venture capital business in Shanghai. I think I actually sat down and I did quite some editing. That took ages, obviously, right? Because if you work 80 hours a week already with your main jobs, and then you want to do video editing on the side, that's going to, like, one video project is going to take a lot of weeks. Um, but at that point, I just wanted to try it myself, and then obviously I noticed, okay, this takes way too long. You need to hire editors as soon as possible, and that's what we did. And I'm happy that you know people are liking these documentaries. This is, for me personally, this is a big passion. I like. I'm probably the biggest consumer of our own videos, because for me it's an interesting topic. My favorite channels on YouTube, very difficult to say. Um, the only channel that I really regularly watch is the All In Podcast channel. Like, I just like watching this one instead of listening to it. And probably some of these bodybuilding motivation channels, Machiavelli Motivation, Nick Andro Motivation, and so on, right? I also like the David Rubenstein show. He has a nice YouTube channel where he interviews all kinds of big investors. In the past, I guess I was like, when I was younger, I was more watching these like iconic YouTubers, like whatever, Ray William Johnson back in the days, right? Or then for some time I watched Gary V. Um, there was this one fitness YouTuber called Beast Mode Jones. Freaking funny. There's this one guy, Bro Science Live, also just funny bodybuilding videos. Um, yeah, but now I don't have time for that anymore. Yeah, if you're building a video editing agency, you don't need to work with creators only. You can work with all kinds of clients. The question is always, how do you approach these people? So you need some reliable acquisition channel, and YouTube is a great acquisition channel because everybody who's active on YouTube needs video editors, right? Otherwise, you can also try to go through, let's say, Twitter, or go through your local business listing directory and try to find clients there. But that's not where I would start. Dom Mazzetti, yeah, that I think that's what he was called. Such a funny guy. I think he's still uploading, but super irregularly. What is YouTube paying for video views? That is very, very dependent on the niche. So you could get $15, like $15 CPMs, so that per thousand clicks, $15. You can get $5 CPMs, and then obviously YouTube takes half of that, right? So you only get 50%. For video editing, I think you really need a strong laptop if you want to do it on a laptop. So I know back then when I tried to do some video editing myself, it really pushed my laptop to the limit. And you don't want to do that, right? You want to have a smooth experience while working, and you don't want your laptop to crash every other day, and then in the worst case your progress is lost and so on. So yeah. Would you like a MMA one-on-one fight? Depends against whom. I wouldn't want to fight Khabib, you know? Or let's say Khabib maybe doesn't make any sense because he's not my weight class, but I wouldn't want to fight John Jones probably. Hey, ohne Abi oder Studium, Sales. Yeah, sales is a good way. Sales is one of the best careers you can get into. So yeah, I would always go for sales, man. If you can't get into stuff like investment banking or venture capital, which you don't need, by the way, you can go for sales, and then you can go a completely untraditional career route. Don't need to have been in investment banking or private equity always, right? If you can, sure, go there for a couple of years, smell that high finance air, learn how to communicate with people that, run funds with AUMs of billions. It's a nice experience, man. That much money makes you hungry to also earn that much money at some point. But if you don't have the option, do sales. You will learn everything you need to learn to build a very successful business. I don't write the scripts for MegaloMedia. I used to do that at the beginning, yeah. As I said, at the beginning, I wanted to do everything myself just to try, just to see, can I do it myself? And also you need to, in most cases, I think it's desirable to do things yourself first so that you can teach other people or you can hire the right people. And that's what I did, but just for the first couple of videos. And then I was rather hands off. Also for the other channels that we run, we always have great teams, script writers, authors, journalists. They write the scripts. And then the video editors edit the videos. All right, give me 1 second. I will go and make a phone call for 1 minute, and then I'll come back and we'll do a Giga University giveaway. And and maybe we'll do some more questions, and then that will be it, my friends. Okay. All right, sirs. Yeah, we'll do this every Sunday for now. So we'll see each other again on Sunday. And now let's do this quick Giga University giveaway. If you have not heard about Giga University yet, now you'll hear about it. Basically, we're researching all kinds of ideas on how to make money online. And we're trying to be on trend, because oftentimes what you get sold from gurus online, the Iman Gadzis, Alex Hormozis, and so on of this world, are things that have worked some years ago, and they have worked for them. So for you to make money with these things is extremely hard. In general, once a big guru, with hundreds of thousands, millions of followers online, starts talking about these business ideas, it's already way too late. So forget about it. What we do is we research stuff that is relevant right now, and we give it to the community. We have all kinds of courses. One of them is on faceless YouTube channels, building YouTube channel conglomerates. Others are about video editing agencies, as we talked about right now. There's also some funny things you can do with with freelance writing, of course using AI tools. So that has created a bit of a change too. So if you want to get this giveaway, what we're going to do is, right now the price for Giga University is $409. We're going to give a discount to 2 people, 50%. So you get you get access to Giga University for half the price, and we'll give it away for a lifetime. Right now, $490 is for 1 year. You're going to get it for half of that, so around $245 for a lifetime. The way you can win is to either text me personally on Instagram, the Kevin John, or our Giga University staff at giga_uni. And this just is a nice illustration of all the value you are going to get at Giga University that I drew during the last live stream. Okay, so among all the people that text us on Instagram, we'll select 2. You'll get this discount, and then I'll see you personally on the other side. So we'll have a chat. Sometimes we have one-on-one calls too. So if you're struggling with some stuff, either you'll talk to me or you'll talk to one of our brilliant professors who are coaching you and helping you to earn money online with stuff that works right now, and not stuff that worked 10 years ago and now is being sold to you for expensive money. I genuinely think if you are working a normal job or if you are at university, you should be doing something on the side. It gives you more security, and it gives you always an option to jump on this thing full time if you get sick of your main job. And that's a brilliant and a very beautiful thing. I've done this my whole life. Since I was 18, I have done things on the side, and it always benefited me in my main job. And ultimately, it led to me quitting and going all in on the things that I was in the past doing only on the side. Like a small thing, that you earned a couple of hundred, a couple of $1,000 a month with, suddenly turned into something that you earn tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands a month with. And that's a beautiful thing. So, text me on the Kevin John. You can just say, hey, or text our Giga University staff at Giga Uni. Just say, hey, I'm here for the giveaway, and we'll select 2 people. With that being said, I'm out. I love every one of you equally, and I'll see you again next week for another live stream. Let's stay in touch. Stay ambitious, my friends.